Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 board gaming video. Today's topic is all about the worst board game covers of all time. So I've talked a little bit about art in board games and that I don't really care too much, but the fact is that the cover of a board game box is the first thing that most people will see, and it has to draw you in. And so I wanted to go over some of the worst boxes in history. I thought it would be fun, I thought it would be a little bit funny, get some laughs, and at the same time maybe we can learn a lesson or two about how not to design a board game cover, or at the very least how to better redesign one to make it a little bit nicer. But that said, this is a fun category, and so I'm curious what you guys have to say. What are some of the worst board game arts that you have come across? Let me know anything and everything in the comments below, because you know I love to hear it all. But that said, we are going to get started with my number 5. At number 5, I've got Guildhall. This is a game that takes place in medieval Europe, essentially, with the idea being that you are trying to build up a town with all of your different laborers, your different types of folks who can have special skills, collect different card sets, all of this kind of stuff. Pretty standard mechanics and honestly a relatively good game. But the fact is that front and center, they put the farmer dude who looks like he's got leprosy holding a couple of pigs and with a giant smile on his face. It just feels weird. And then the lady next to him looks like she has been so airbrushed that she could belong on the cover of Vogue. As for the other 3 people, we got, sneaky dude back here with jaundice. We got Santa Claus looking cardinal who is plotting something evil like he wants to kill the Pope. And then the old dude over here who's trying to keep the secrets of the dark arts all to himself. It just seems goofy and a little bit strange. But at the same time, the thing is that art is the same stuff that's on the cards. So either way, it's low on the list because the game is still pretty good and the cover itself is honestly not as bad as some of the other ones, but regardless, Guildhall, my number 5. At number 5, I've got Caelus. So this is the original cover of Caelus. Look at that dude. He doesn't care about anything or anyone. He doesn't want to have anything to do with his kingdom. The whole point of this game is that you are trying to help the king build up the kingdom and make it better and all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to do it for that guy. He looks mad at me and I haven't even started playing the game yet. The nice thing is that they redid the cover and it actually looks a lot better now. It looks a lot more like, oh, this is cool. There's something big and awesome going on. And we've got people mysteriously in the sky and who knows what's going to happen. Oh, it's going to be super cool. But the original cover, no, the dude just, he looks mad, and that's pretty much the only facet of the cover that there is some angry looking dude standing in front of the castle. Not good, no fun, and my number 4. At number 3, I've got Heads of State. This is a game where you're essentially trying to control the government and, do all sorts of crazy stuff like that, as is traditional with government stuff. But we're not talking about mechanics. We are talking about this ridiculousness of a cover. It's like baby's first photoshopping lesson. Everybody is looking in a different perspective, everybody is facing the wrong way based off of where their necks are turned, and everybody looks airbrushed into oblivion. It makes no sense and it looks bad. At least in Guildhall, most of the people look like they belonged in a dirty, grungy medieval town, but in this case it looks like they're all just like, oh yes, quite so. We are here and we are going to be heads of state, yes. No, it makes no sense, it's weird, it doesn't make any sense, and it scares me. And also it's my number 3. At number 2, I've got Europa, 1945 to 2030, the gritty, realistic game about the formation of the United Nations as well as the European Union following World War II and essentially the collapse of the Third Reich. Now, this is a really intense game with a lot of politics and all of this kind of stuff going on. There's a lot of intrigue and a lot of things happening in between the multiple countries that people are playing as. And this is how they present it. Naked baby. Because obviously, why not? It makes perfect sense, of course. No, it doesn't. It makes no sense whatsoever. This doesn't make any sense. There's a naked baby on the cover of the box. What is this? A revamping of Nevermind? For those of you older grunge fans? It's just weird. At the very least, though, it might make you take it off the shelf to look at it, to see what it's about, but the thing is that it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that it has the stars of the European Union on it. That's sort of a connection, I guess, but it's a naked baby. It's really weird. And that's why it's my number 2. Europa 2045, or sorry, 1945 to 2030. Can't even remember the name. It's number 2. At number 1, I've got Battleship. You know this game. This is the one where you put all of your different ships on and you say A5, H17, whatever it is. I don't remember how big the grid is. It doesn't matter. The idea is that you're trying to sink your opponent's ships. But we need to get rid of that cover because that's the new cover. We need to go to the original cover of Battleship that Milton Bradley made. And look at how much fun they're having. They're sitting there playing the game, ooh, having a good time and all of this kind of stuff. But wait a minute. Who's that in the background? Why, it's the ladies doing the dishes, as they're supposed to, because women belong in the kitchen. They are not allowed to play board games with the men. That doesn't make sense. We can't have that. And so luckily this has been revamped multiple times, but at the same time it really goes to show the stereotypes and the mindset that was prevalent and rampant at the time that this game was originally released. And so that's why it's number 1 on the list, because frankly it really hasn't gone away. And it's slightly less blatant nowadays, but this is pretty ridiculous. So Battleship the OG, my number 1. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my top/bottom 5 board game cover arts. Again, this is kind of an interesting thing because it very much comes down to your personal opinion on what you find aesthetically pleasing or not. But at the same time, there are certain things that are just goofy and make no sense. So hopefully you guys will agree with me on some of them. Hopefully you guys got a laugh out of a few of them. But most importantly, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Again, what are some of the worst ones that you personally have come across? Put it all in the comments below because you know I love to hear it all. But that said, as always, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at my various social media pages where you can interact with myself and my channel in a bunch of really fun ways. We are working, we are fighting back the COVID. We are doing really well, at least here in the US. We have given lots and lots, millions of doses of the vaccine, and so we are fighting back and we are decreasing our numbers every single day. But that said, I know it is still a worldwide problem, and so it is not over, it is not out of the woods. Everybody please stay safe, keep your families safe, and be well, be happy, or at least try to be. And all in all, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.